We have a few different Love After Lockup updates to talk about in this video. First, starting off with Chance. So Chance had a court date just a few days ago, and when he was arrested on the 28th of December, he was charged with a 24-hour hold and tampering with a motor vehicle in the first degree. And at his court date, the assistant prosecuting attorney finally filed charges for the rollover accident from December, and they have been added to the two he already had. This is the probable cause statement where the officer says he believes that Chance committed the offenses listed below on December 18th, and one charge is a Class E felony, which is leaving the scene of an accident and property damage exceeding $1,000, and then he got a Class C misdemeanor for failing to stop at a stop sign, and then a Class A misdemeanor for making a false affidavit to mislead a public servant, and then a Class B misdemeanor where he made a false report. The officer explains on December 18th of 2023, he showed up to the incident and he observed Chance's truck with heavy driver's side damage, and then he observed a big tractor trailer which was hauling a gas tanker which had overturned in the median. The tractor trailer was on its top and leaking fuel, and it had leaked over 8,200 gallons out into the road. And then the officer explains that he was able to call in and identify through the license plates that the truck belonged to Chance. The officer finds Chance's wallet in the center console and found a hotel key and some credit cards in there. And he went back to the hotel that Chance was staying in, and they went through the cameras and they saw Chance leaving the hotel in the Chevrolet, which was his truck, and a short time after, it shows him returning to the hotel on foot. And then Chance ended up calling the Missouri State Highway Patrol dispatch to report that his truck had been stolen the night of the crash. And I think he was just trying to do that to take any blame off him. He wanted to look like the victim in this situation and like it's someone else's fault. So, of course, the officer had enough evidence to prove that what Chance was saying was a big fat lie. And so they told Chance when he made this claim that someone stole his truck, the officer told Chance, okay, we're going to need you to come down to the station so you can write a written statement talking about exactly the whereabouts of your truck and what happened the night it was stolen. And Chance comes in, he writes a written statement, and then he signs it. The officer ended up stopping Chance before he ended up signing the statement. And he was like, I just want to warn you that once you sign that statement, if any part of that statement is false, then you could be potentially facing charges. And Chance was like, no, this is all 100% truthful. This is exactly how it happened. And he signed the statement. After police were finished conducting their investigation, they had enough video footage that proved that Chance was lying, and he was the one that wrecked into that vehicle and allegedly stole this lady's car that night. And they just proved that a lot of what Chance was saying that night to them and in the statement was just a big fat lie. So they ended up sitting him down, they interrogated him, and finally he broke and admitted that he had lied in that statement. He was the one in the truck who ended up crashing the vehicle, and he admitted to stealing this lady's car afterwards and stealing her credit card because there's no gas in the vehicle so he could try to get away. So he is getting hit with one felony charge of a Class D felony of tampering with a motor vehicle, And it says this punishment for a Class D felony is imprisonment in the custody of the Missouri Department of Corrections for a term of years not less than 1 year and not to exceed 7 years, or by imprisonment for a special term not to exceed 1 year in the county jail, or by a fine not to exceed $10,000. So he has to face a minimum of 1 year in the county jail or prison unless they just make him pay a hefty fine. And he also got hit with a second count of fraudulent use of a credit/debit device. And it says this is a misdemeanor, fraudulent use of a credit device. I'm shocked. I thought that was going to be a felony for sure. The range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor is imprisonment in the county jail or other authorized penal institution for a term not to exceed 1 year, by a fine not to exceed $2,000, or both imprisonment and a fine. If money or property has been gained through the commission of the crime, any fine imposed may not be more than double the amount of the offender's gain from the commission of the crime to a maximum of $20,000. And then he got hit with a third count, leaving a scene of the accident and property damage exceeding $1,000, and that is a Class D felony. The range of punishment for that is imprisonment in the custody of the Missouri Department of Corrections for a term of years not less than 1 year and not to exceed 4 years, or by imprisonment for a special term not to exceed, or by a fine not to exceed $10,000. Both of those felony charges are wanting him to do at least 1 year in prison. And then his fourth and final charge he's facing is making a false affidavit to mislead a public servant. So that's when he lied about his car getting stolen. And it says it is a Class A misdemeanor and it is imprisonment in the county jail for up to not exceed 1 year. So 1 year max, and a fine not to exceed $2,000. Now it makes sense why he's been in rehab for at least the past few months now, because he's trying to do whatever he can to look good to the judge and get some brownie points so he can try to avoid going to prison at all costs, because it's not going to look good for him with the record that he has. Especially with him being a career criminal. He's been getting in trouble all his life. The last time he went to prison is because he robbed a bank. And the judge is going to look down on all of that. I believe I read it wrong at the beginning of the video and said he was facing 1 felony and 3 misdemeanors. He's actually facing 2 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. So I'm curious to see how this goes once he does finally wrap up all these cases. And his girlfriend Alyssa, she had a court date recently and she did not actually appear. It looks like she just got her case continued until May 7th. And a lot of places, like certain courts, will let you call in for the first time or let your lawyer continue it the first time without you actually having to be there. So I'm pretty sure she's most likely going to have to be there at her next court date. Then once, I believe, after this May 7th court date, we will finally figure out how she is trying to plead to these cases. Is she going to plead guilty or not guilty? But that is it for this video, guys. I was going to share more Love After Lockup updates, but this video has already gotten long enough, and I don't like making super long videos. So I'll just save the rest of the updates for a future video. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.